I find it funny that fans want to talk in absolutes. It's really even more hilarious when Star Wars fans do it. You get that reference. But, like, it's really, and there's many layers to it. It's like, fans want to say, like, oh, this sucks, or this sucks. This is not the way you should do this, or that. Especially when it's serious. Like, they're trying to dictate what somebody else does with their property or whoever owns it. And don't make me go on the rant of, like, fans thinking they own stuff somehow. You know, fuck that shit. You didn't make it. Another rant would be me talking about public domain. But back on the subject of fans and, like, this entitlement in a way also of fans talking in absolutes. And, excuse me, it got into a discussion when I was talking to somebody online today, and it was not like hostile discussion or anything. But they were talking about Star Wars prequels and how, like, oh, a lot of fans act like those are, like, good now. And I agree, like, a lot of fans, and that's why they talk in absolutes. When you talk in absolutes, you gotta have something to measure it up against. And when you measure up the sequels now, people want to say, like, well, the prequels are so much better. But people panned the prequels a long time ago. Like, I remember when the prequels came out and people shitted all over them. And some of those same people who I know, exact same people, now act like the sequels are the worst things Star Wars has ever made. Which is bullshit. But you need something to compare with that absolute there. So they want to claim something from their generation. So they'll say, oh, the prequels are actually good. These sequels are awful. Because that's from their generation. Hell, I remember when people panned Return of the Jedi. Do people forget that? And there wasn't internet really then, but people shit all over that movie when it came out. I remember I seen Star Wars Return of the Jedi probably more than any of the others at the theater. And people just remember, like, people shitting on the Jedi, but people shit on that whole movie in a lot of ways. And it's one of my, it's not even my top 5 Star Wars movies. More, not because of Ewoks or anything, but just because of the freaking last minute redemption thing, which I freaking hate in stories. But back to the fans talking in absolutes. So they want to say, like, the prequels are awful. Or the sequels are awful. Well, none of them are that bad. Like, the sequel's main problem was they had 2 different viewpoints and creative directions that basically were fighting against each other. That was the main problem with the sequels. The prequels I like. The only problem I have with anything that happened in the prequels was Padme. How they basically turned her into this weak little woman who died of heartache. Fucking bullshit. You know, the story's right there. She didn't die of that. She died of being force choked. That's what fucking killed her. That's my only problem, really, with the prequels. I think they're really good movies. But in this discussion I was having online, I was talking about how, like, one of the biggest sins of Star Wars fans, I think, ever, is acting like the original trilogy was this great piece of storytelling. It was a great piece of filmmaking. I don't really think it was any of those things. It's not a unique story in any way. And it's not even told very well, like throughout those 3 movies. But also, you gotta look at the filmmaking side. A lot of people were like, that movie's groundbreaking, it was mind-blowing. Really? Did we really see much that we hadn't seen from sci-fi TV shows in the past? So, I argue that the groundbreaking parts of Star Wars are the merchandising. That's why those movies latched themselves onto us pop culture wise. That's why those movies ingrained themselves in our psyche, culture-wise. It was the merchandising. It wasn't the films. Those films could have been just hit films and been fine, you know? But without that merchandising push, which was the start of the modern merchandising push for toys and everything, having shit on everything, are we talking about Star Wars right now? So I don't think it's that groundbreaking of a film in that aspect of people saying it's a great story, great filmmaking. But Star Wars films are and remain my favorite movies ever. But you gotta be able to distance your favorites from a truly great film, truly well done film. And also, even when you do that, don't talk in absolutes about it being a truly great film or a truly well made film. Because I don't give a shit what you do. I've had this discussion before. I've mentioned this in rants before. You can deconstruct any piece of creative work, no matter what it is, and show fault in it, and show weakness in it, and show how it's not actually good compared to other stuff. So don't talk in absolutes. Because I don't even Sith talking absolutes. Star Wars fans, they're way more Siths than Jedis.